Right, welcome back. I'm halfway through something and I realise I haven't really done any filming. Sort of just been thinking about other things. So I'll give you a quick update on what I've done and what I'm currently doing right now. So I think in my last video, as I talked about, made a mistake, put some paint on there and it was all no good. So it got wet sanded. So I've gone around and bought some 2K filler. So I redid the corners here, bodyworked all that, and I filled that with the primer. It's been wet sanded. So I've gone around all the rivets. So what I've just done is right now I glazed around these rivets. So I've just gone through and put the filler on there, ready to wet sand when it dries. Did some of the door here. This is going to get masked and there's a change of colour on here, but yeah, we'll try and bodywork a bit of that before we stick the masking tape on. And where I've been having a lot of trouble around my front rivets here, I've just sprayed a very tight line back on those, around there. So I've done around this corner here. It's hard to see where I think you can see the colour change in there. Just a tight line where I just want to build around the rivets. Same up on the cab here, on the door. Went along, did this, did a lot of glazing on here where I scratched it with the sander and made a big mess. So it's actually come up pretty good with the primer on there. It shows any imperfections in your work. I've had to go at the door here. It's been a bit of a challenge, that one. So as you can see, I've still got a bit of glazing on the cab there. Yeah, I'm off two minds whether I want to squirt that with Bill primer or not, because it's so hard to sand in around these. And the Bill primer is real gritty. I'm just not too sure about that. Maybe I will, because it'll show imperfections, but it does feel pretty good. I'll let you know on that one. And the other thing I've done is the visor. Then it had etch primer on it, and as we've all learnt, it's unsandable. So put the filler primer on it, given that a squirt just now, and it'll. You don't actually see that when it's on the truck. It's quite flat up on the roof, but still, it's nice to get it right. Then the other thing I've done is my fuel tank bands from about midway, where they're visible, up around on the front of the tank. I was unhappy with the paint job. It had marks in it and just didn't turn out the way it should have. So I've rubbed them down, wet sanded them, and they've just been degreased. So I'm going to give those a squirt with some filler primer, just to the midway point. I'm not worried about underneath. It's good enough for what it's going to do. So I'm just going to do that now and I'll bring you back. I'll flick the camera on, show you what I'm doing. I'll give you a rundown soon on everything I've done, but something I'm trying to do is when I put this window mask in, I put that butyl rubber tape under there and then hucked it all and squashed it, but I always ended up with a gap up under the mask there in one particular place. Sorry, the camera's not going to get it. It was quite bad up under here. It's just the way it's pulled a little bit on the cab, and I couldn't get it back down. So I'm going along with some sealant and I'm sealing it. So I'll take you along here and I'll show you, if I can, where I haven't filled. There, you can see where I'm up to. So that's what I'm up against, just trying to fill that void under there. I'm pretty sure the tape will be all sealed up the top here. It'll be squashed in real hard, but yeah, before I paint, just run some sealant. Bit of a slow job. That's had filler primer on there, or primer filler, get it the right way around. I just chucked the tape on there, so I don't want the sealant all on there. It's hard to get it off afterwards. And when I paint also, I don't want the overspray on that. It's too hard to sand around those rivets again, because that's going to be a different colour than this down here. Well, and parts of it will. So I'll just leave you sitting here and I'll just show you what I do. probably more of what not to do. Most of my videos are like that, but it makes good content. It's what people want to see. So got the filler gun, so I just smear along under here, make a bit of a mess, which is what I'm good at doing. Pretty hot here today. It's 25°C, which is what, 75 Fahrenheit, I think. So it's pretty warm in here. Everything goes off pretty quick. So just make a big mess along there like that. Don't go too far, otherwise it gets too sticky and I can't work with it. And then my next little trick is a lot of water on my finger, and I'll just smear it along up into there. I end up with an excess. Just get it on the end here. I have no idea how you meant to do all that. I just make it up as I go. Usual story, just fake it till you make it. A little hole just in there. Fill that. Try and keep my finger pretty clean. I'll just keep running it up into there. I obviously don't want it down where I'm going to paint, because it isn't going to look very good. So the next thing I do is a lot of water on the rag and try and run it along the line. Take anything off the panel work. I've got too much on there. Someone will be sitting home screaming at their device. Don't do it like that. So today, just to talk about what I've been doing. You would have seen in the previous clip that was done this morning, I've put the primer on, the build primer, and been doing a couple of little jobs today. I've come back, it's all pretty hard and dry, and I've sanded it. I've wet sanded the primer. Give you a bit of an overview soon of where I've done it. I'm pretty happy. As I said, I'm not a body person. I thought I had it right before and I didn't, so have a look under there. No voids, good. Can't feel any sealant on there, that's what I'm after. That's good. Right, I won't bore you with the rest of it. I'll bring you back and give you an overview, as I say. Well, I've had enough. So I'll show you the buys and things like that. Right, the next morning here. Yeah, it's quite cool this morning. No insects, light wind outside, so I've opened the shop doors here. That one open, that one slight breeze. So I've prepped the cab, I've watered the floor. I have to re-water, it's going to dry out probably, concrete's warm. And the cab's had a full wipe down with wax and grease remover. So I'm going to have a go at painting it. I'll try and think positive and it's going to come out right, but I know it's going to have imperfections. We haven't got a paint booth. We'll see what we can come out with. So I'm not going to walk you around it again and bore you with it. You've already seen it 10 times. So I'm going to mix some paint and have a go. So I'm not going to film me painting. One, you don't need to see that. And two, I don't want to get paint on the camera. I don't know how other guys do it. Probably put it in a holder or Glad wrap it or something. But you know, I just don't want to run the risk. I know you put the reducers on the screen or on plastic and stuff, it'll just ruin it. So yeah, we'll have a go and I'll bring you back once I've done it And if it doesn't work, well, you're never going to see it. Should be right. As I said, just trying to be positive, get it on there. Because the other option is, if it doesn't work, I'll just put it out in the paddock and let the cows rub on it and lick it and eat it. And we'll have a true farm truck then. Right, next day, I'll let this sit for, well, it's 24 hours. It's been sitting now. I'll grab the light here. Only got the big light. I'll go around with it. I know that's not really working with the GoPro. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that, considering my standards. Like anything, I can see imperfections in it, but I'm not going to pick holes in it. I'm grateful that the paint just went on and it stayed on. It's a good bonus for me. I mean, the truth will be told when you take it outside in the natural light. But time you put some handles on there and accessories on there, it'll take your eye off the most of it. So, yeah, unfortunately, the camera's just not picking up anything on there at the moment. I haven't got the big door open in the shop here, but you can see it's glossed. Got a little bit of, I consider it orange peel possibly on there. Don't know, I'll get somebody else to have a look. We may rub it yet, try and take it out, but yeah. I mean, I don't have a paint booth, as you know. I can see a couple of little things on here. I've got a couple of little pinholes just on my, when I did my bodywork. I obviously just never picked it up. But she's a 10-foot paint job, eh? Yeah, but the light's not doing anything. It's a waste of time, I think. Ugh. My boy's stolen my other light. It's out there, the shed. My next thing will be masking, and we'll work on the roof cap, because as I talked about, I'll mask off under this line here. I'm not going to run the risk of tearing paint when it pulled the tape off. It's a pretty brutal line on there anyway. But yeah, no, I am actually quite pleased with that until I get it outside. But no, it's I just thought I'll show you that before I start masking and getting ready. I got to learn to put pinstripe on next. Got a lot to learn with that. Try and get the radius around the front here. I suppose I should watch some other videos. But yeah, I want to bring it around. I was going to look at my photos I've saved. But my yellow, which is going on the bottom, I think I'll follow the top of this step. I thought about going halfway, but I'll follow that line there. I'll bring it around. I'll come right around here, just above the headlight, and then I'll radius it off down to this point on the front. And that should, when I do that, that'll miss this flap, so we're not masking through that, and we'll bring it just through this line down there. So, and then I'll figure out what I'm going to do. I'll show you at the top here, as I've talked about. I'm going to radius it from out here somewhere down around into here. I just haven't quite figured what I'm doing there. Make it up as you go, eh? But all right, I'll put the camera down and should be safe to mask on. Shouldn't lift the paint. It's gone. 24 hours would be enough to, and it's warm here. It's 70 Fahrenheit for you overseas people. I'll have a look. Sorry, it's a bit dark here. Turn the other lights on. The camera doesn't like it. What are we here? Let's shift all my junk. 20. It's 246. It's 22 degrees C, and yeah, just a fraction under 70. It's 68 Fahrenheit. But high humidity today. It's raining all around us. Just drizzle. Not a good day for painting. Pleased I did this yesterday morning. Didn't have much moisture in the water trap on the compressor, and that went on really good. All right, I'll stop talking, just waffling, and I'll get some tape on there. Bit more content to show you. So I started measuring and put my fine line tape on there. So I measured top and bottom, got that pretty parallel, and my idea was to follow the step along here, take that height right around the front. So I've marked it just there, pencil mark. So I thought I was really doing good, and then I got to the front and I realized here's my pencil mark right there. It's like, I should have done some extra measuring, I suppose. I suppose one of those laser setup things would be cool if the cab was sitting dead level, which it probably isn't. I haven't checked it. Just fire a laser line onto the cab and get some idea where I'm going. But I don't own one. So I think I need to remeasure, and I need to get halfway between this and the light, which is my gold. And I'll bring that around and I'll see if that brings me halfway between the steps, which will be okay. But my biggest bugbear is for measuring this line here. Obviously doesn't go right around, so I need to transfer that along the cab, and the bottom's a different height at the front corner there versus behind the arch, wheel arch. See, just gotta love it. It's all about learning, I suppose. I'll carry on and I'll bring you back when I figure it out. Alright, I've got my assistant holding the camera for me, Mr. Alex. So I'm going to show you what not to do again. I'm using some fine line tape under this window mask. I'm trying to seal the mask off, which has got a big gap in it here, underneath. I don't want my change of colour to go under it because I've already painted under there. I'm just running this tape up under it. And once I've done this and cut it off, we can go for a walk and we can have a look at what I've done. It's very hot here today. Put that up into there. Cut that off. The blade's getting a bit blunt. Yeah, it's too blunt. I want to cut. Tough that tape. It's not good up in there. Just come over my line. That's better. Alright, got that sealed up under there. So Alex is going to take you for a walk and show you we'll stand back and look at the lines. Have a look at the front of the cab. Without scratching the cab. So everything on this side of the green line is going to go yellow, and all the mask will go yellow, and the roof. Obviously this will stay white in here, and then below the tape all that'll go yellow in there. So that's what I'm trying to achieve. We'll come around this side. I can point, Alex can stand back there. So, yep, here's our bottom side through here. Now, I'm not a masking person, but after a bit of trial and error, I did a lot of measuring. We measured down off a given point, and I put marks on there. And then I was taking the tape along and I was touching on each point and pinching and then moving along to the next one. So I did that, and then I looked at it and I thought, well, that doesn't really look right. So I put the ruler on there, and yeah, we weren't straight. We were all up and down in the tape. We were terrible. So I thought about what to do to fix that, and then I I had it go holding it from a point there, and I just stretched the tape and I just touched the point there, a mark there, and then just laid the tape on the whole thing in one go. And you put the ruler on there and we got a dead straight line. Wow, as straight as I think it is. The ruler could be bent. So we're just in the process of doing a bit of fine masking work, sealing things up, and then I'll obviously double tape that and we'll cover all this. Then we can do the prep work on the door and on the roof, build primer on all those. I think with that we'll end it there and carry on masking. Alright, here we are, done a bit of Christmas wrapping. Have a look at my masking from a great distance, that is. So yeah, mixture of paper and I don't know what you call that stuff, drop paper, drop plastic, sorry. We're doing a house. I had quite a bit left over, so thought I'll use it. So yeah, as you saw, put the thin line tape on, call it a vinyl tape I think. So that's all stretched, hopefully it's straight. And then yeah, chuck the other tape over the edge of it. I've gone around, I've sort of checked. Obviously I'll recheck when I go to do any painting, but pretty sure it's all sealed up pretty good. I know there's no holes in that because you can put air in and it pressurizes. Whether that's the right stuff to use, I don't know, as long as it does the job. I suppose if we've got yellow dots in it when we're finished, it's going to be colourful. Got the back done around here. That's mixed, that's full sheet of paper on the back. And I just overlap the plastic right over. It's just the way it worked out. So everything's wrapped up pretty good. So let the fun begin. Put some overalls on and starting to get dirty. I have to get up and want to prep all that roof. It needs a sand now. It's got a lot of grit and rubbish on it from overspray, and then I'll put build primer on it and start working it. Even though you're not going to see the roof cap, it's a peace of mind. I'm going to put a bit of effort in and try and tidy it up, especially around the top edge up here, around the rivets. Anything needs doing up there, I'll attack that. I mean, the visor goes on up here, so it hides a lot of this here. It's not that pretty, but I'll tidy all that type of thing up. It's quite rough there where I've scratched it. And obviously down the bottom, go through, double check all the panel work down there. I'll probably just Scotch-Brite that just to rough it up. I think that's all you need to do, because obviously you don't want to go near the masking line and damage the line. That's why I totally oversprayed with the white, build it all, and there shouldn't be any height difference hopefully in the joint. I noticed, I knew it was there when I did it. I got one little run just there, so I'll try and cut that off and I'll sand that out. Luckily it's going to be in the fixable area. I'll grab a few shots as I do some more prep work. There's a couple of days worth of prep work on that, I would think. It's currently raining outside here, high humidity. It's no good for painting. Be right for priming, but certainly not top coat. Yeah, it's moving along pretty good. Once that weather does come right, we'll get that frame outside and be a big job, but yeah, blast all that done. Alright, put the camera down and get to work. Okay, here we are. I think I'll wrap up the content I've got on the GoPro for now, and I'll try and get this video out to you. Yeah, I'm not sure what's on the GoPro. I haven't looked, but it'll do. We'll make something out of it. Okay, I'll have a quick overview. You've seen most of this already. Yeah, all masked up. Done a wet sand. Done a 500 on that to scratch it up, and then a bit of scotchy. So that's all scratched up, ready for top coat. Obviously didn't want to go near my masking. That's all been rubbed out. It's all good. Same around the bottom. It's all been scratched, ready for any bodywork imperfections. Just tidy that up so I could just focus on that one little area instead of looking at the whole cab, which was making me dizzy. I'll show you the roof real quick. It's a bit of a mess, but it's hadn't had a wipe down yet. So that had the build primer put on it, had a good coat, gave it a rub down, gone through. I could see a couple of little areas, so you'll see a little bit of red just on there, a little bit of glazing. So that needs a wax degrease, wipe down yet. They'll get rid of all those wet marks on there. Obviously I wet sanded it. It's just water residue left over. So subject to weather, it's nice and smooth. That's ready for we'll give it a good heavy build coat, top coat. It is the roof. Hopefully no one ever sees the roof. If it's laying on its side, well, I don't think we'd be terribly worried about the paintwork at that point in time. And if the cab's up, well, they'll be busy looking at the power unit, not the roof. Yeah, same around here. Just areas I thought I had right, but it's not. So I've gone through and just, yeah, tried to get them right. The top coat's going to show everything. Back's fully masked up, obviously. Nothing to do on there. Back lid of the roof, around all the rivets. Got all those. Just hope I've got all the window stuff pretty, it's all subject to wipe down obviously, as I say, but feels all pretty nice. I see a little bit of my tape's lifted on here that I'll have to go through, and I may cut that and remask that, but the paint's already on it anyway. Just have to rub the rubber down. All my tape's still on here. Haven't touched any of that. I need to paint the visor when I do this. I've got it out of the way at the moment, so I got no overspray coming off the build primer onto it. It's, as you know, it's pretty gritty stuff. And I've gone through my tank bands. As I showed previously, I wasn't happy with those, so I rubbed down the half that you can see and build primer on those, built them up, a couple of rubs, and I still see marks on them, so I've just gone through and done a little bit of glazing. It's only light, so I'll just give that a rub down. When it's hard, I've only just done it. Same around here, but I mean, this is the underside and back side of the band up against the chassis. Unless you're laying under the truck, you're never going to see them. They're still going to be alright. I've rubbed them all down, and just any little imperfections I could see in there, I'll re-rub the glazing and give them a top coat, give them a wet one, and bring them up pretty glossy, I hope. So I've learned a lot, and I'm still learning. It's a big learning curve. Would have been nice to do the chassis first and learn a bit more about painting, but that would have been a different scenario anyway, because it's only going to be a blast and I'm not doing any body work on there. We've got no rail length on there. It's all full of bolts, so it's not like you can do body work and fill it and bring it all up like they do on the show trucks. And we've got fuel tanks, you just can't even see the rails hardly, fully covered. As I always do, I'll end this upload there, and yeah, again, thanks for viewing, and I hope you enjoy. I know it's not that entertaining, it's not over the top stuff, but yeah, it's showing the progress I'm slowly making on this. We're getting there. Yeah, sort of circumstances have changed, so I'm on site a lot more now, and I come out here, it's only just breaking daylight in the mornings, it's summer here, so it's pretty early, and I can easily smash out a good 4 hours in the morning before anybody else is out and about doing anything. And I do a few other jobs during the day, and sometimes come out here back at night, but you get a bit tired by the end of the day. Been known to be out here still at 9 o'clock at night, still working away on it, but I know one thing, I don't paint at night. I'm starting to get tired and I make mistakes, so I tend to prep it all and get it ready, and then come out in the morning, and subject to weather and humidity and wind and all that type of thing, I'll have a go at it. So I've only got the yellow to go on the cab, and subject to how well that goes, be able to demask it and have a look and see what the disasters are. So try and think positive, but yep, I'll end it there. Thanks for viewing, and yeah, hit that like button, it helps. So I'll catch you next time.